Attention, brave souls and curious minds. I am the entity known solely as the Archivist. Entrusted with a grave and foreboding duty, my role is to unravel the enigmatic saga of Benjamin Raine. The 365 recordings presented here are more than mere audio files. They are the haunting echoes of a life veiled in deep mystery. This is his tale, exposed to those courageous enough to explore the shadows of his reality. Tread carefully, for within these chronicles lies a narrative that could ensnare you in its grip just as it did him.
January 6, 2023. I just got home from work, and today was significant. I finally did it. I handed in my 2-week notice at the Gazette. After nearly 12 years there, it honestly feels surreal, like stepping off a cliff into the unknown. But it's time. Since Claire, everything there feels purposeless. The reaction from my colleagues was a mix of surprise and understanding. I think they've seen the change in me since Claire's passing. I'm not the same person who used to find solace in the rhythm of deadlines and the hustle of the newsroom. That newsroom used to be our battleground. We were a team, more than just husband and wife. We delved into stories that others shied away from. There was the corruption scandal at the city council we exposed together back in 2014. Her writing and my editing made quite the combination. We were proud of that. It led to real change, real accountability. Then there was the series on the old factories polluting the river. Claire spent weeks gathering evidence, interviewing whistleblowers, and I was her sounding board, helping her piece the story together. We received threats during that time, but Claire, she was fearless. She believed in the power of truth, no matter the cost. But walking into the newsroom today, I felt nothing. Robert, our editor-in-chief, tried to persuade me to stay. He's been there since I started, a mentor and a guiding force. He said the newsroom needed me, that my experience was invaluable, especially with the influx of new, young journalists coming in. You've got a wealth of knowledge, Ben, he told me. You could shape the next generation of reporters. I could see the sincerity in his eyes, the belief that I still had something to give. Robert always had a way of seeing potential in people, of nurturing talent. He reminded me of the days when Claire and I were the young blood, full of ideals and eager to make our mark. We learned so much under him, and he believes I could pass that on, be a mentor like he was to us. But it's not just about imparting skills or knowledge. It's about instilling a sense of purpose, of ethics. That's what Robert did for us. He shaped us into journalists who sought the truth, who understood the weight of our words and the impact they could have. He sees that legacy in me, a legacy he thinks I should continue. Yet despite his words, my heart simply isn't in it any longer. Perhaps it seems selfish, but my journey in journalism began with Claire. And now that she's gone, it feels right to move on. The truth is, I can't envision myself as a mentor, not in the way Robert was to us. To guide and inspire others requires a certain conviction and completeness, something I'm currently struggling to find within myself. Right after I handed in my notice, I called my therapist. I told them about my decision to leave the Gazette and about starting these daily recordings as they suggested. It was important for me to get their perspective. Their response was encouraging, actually. They thought it was a positive step, a way for me to process everything that's been going on. My therapist said that these recordings could serve as a form of self-reflection, a tool for understanding my emotions and thoughts during this transitional phase in my life. They suggested we schedule a meeting for next Tuesday on the 10th. Or in other words, they're probably just trying to secure their bottom line. But they would also say that's my negative inner voice. I got a call back from the realtor about selling the house. It's in a historical part of town, and that apparently is a big selling point. The realtor was quite upbeat about it. She mentioned that houses in this area are in high demand. She threw around some figures, potential prices, higher than I expected, to be honest. I guess the neighborhood is really sought after. You know, there's good schools nearby, a friendly community. It's funny. Claire always used to say this place would be a gold mine one day. I told the realtor to go ahead and start the process. She said she'd get some listings ready, maybe hold an open house soon. It's all moving really fast, but I guess that's what I need. A fresh start, a change of scenery. I did take that photo of Claire with me to work, the one where she's with those men I don't recognize, standing in front of that fancy estate. I figured maybe someone at the Gazette might know something. After all, the people we meet in this line of work, the connections we make, I thought there might be a chance. So I went around the newsroom, passing the photo to anyone who'd take a second to look. Do you recognize these guys? Or this place? I kept asking. But it was like hitting a wall every time. No one knew a thing. It's strange, you know. Here's Claire, who is practically part of the fabric of our community, who involved me in every story she hunted down, and yet there's this piece of her life that's just a complete mystery to everyone. It's frustrating, honestly. I was half hoping for some easy answer like, oh, that's just so-and-so from such and such. But nothing. Just a lot of puzzled looks. It makes you wonder, what was Claire involved in? Who were these men? And what was she doing at that estate? The key is even more confusing. I've been sitting here, turning it over in my hands, trying to make sense of it. It's old-fashioned, not like the ones you see these days. Claire always had a thing for antiques, but I can't for the life of me remember her ever mentioning a key. It's a long shot, but there is a bank, the one Claire and I have always used. It's not far from here. Maybe, just maybe, she had a safety deposit box. It would make sense in a way. If she had something important, something she wanted to keep safe, a bank would be the logical place. Tomorrow, I'm going to take this key and go there. I'll see if they can tell me anything about it, if it belongs to one of their boxes. Who knows? Maybe there's something in there that can shed light on all this. The photo, the message. I can't really move on until I put this behind me. It feels like I'm grasping at straws, but I've got to start somewhere. And right now, this key is all I've got. It's the only tangible piece of this puzzle I've stumbled onto. I just hope it leads to something, anything that can help me understand what Claire was involved in. Anything to understand what she meant by everything we believed is a lie. End of recording.